chessboard, as you can see here. Well, hello friends. Today I'm here to practically show you this chessboard and about its rules and also how pieces move around in the board and all the tactics we use. First, let me open it up real quick. So you can see, as you can see, it's the board, a surface where we would play chess. But I would like to say that please ignore this stuff. It looks a little bit unprofessional, but please you can I hope you can compromise a bit. Now let's start with this pawn. Yeah, it's called the pawn and it's also the smallest piece in the chessboard. So let me tell you in very simple how it works. Let me take up the board real quick. So it's a board, you can see. So you can see this particular line, line. It contains multiple squares. This particular line. So this line is always occupied by pawns. Like I can put it anywhere. Like for example, I'm putting it here. So either you can move one square, two squares. Yep. It can move two squares max. If you want to start with the opening, so you need to move two squares at max, and that's what I would recommend. So if you have a question about how we would take the opponent's piece, so let me show you. So for example, let's see that just imagine I will move this pawn two squares here and this pawn also two squares. Now how this white would eat this pawn up? The answer is it can't, because it's in the rule book. You can actually take up a pawn that's in front of you. So how can we? So your opponent's pawn need to be here, sideways. If your opponent pawn is sideways, you can eat that up, and yep, you have occupied your opponent's square. Now let's take another piece which is called bishop. As you can see here, bishop, you can say in my own respective words, I would call it a sniper. But how? But why? Because okay, let's just consider. Mostly not. The bishops are always placed here in these two particular squares. You can see here. I have put my finger to indicate which squares I'm talking about. These two particular squares. In these squares, bishops are always placed like this and like this. So bishops can really move like here and there. Only you can move sideways. Like let me show you. First, we'll put this bishop in this white square, and if I want to travel anywhere, I could just do that. You saw that, right? It can only move sideways. Like if it's here, I can move here or here, but I can never jump in the black square, because a bishop that's in the white square always can move in the white square, and a bishop, if that's in the black square, it can only move in the black square. You can see here and there, but it can never go like this. So show you another piece, which is I would like to call the horse. See, well, traditionally this is called the knight in chess. So let me tell you how it moves. For beginners, it might little bit complicated, but it's not that much complicated, but I will show you in simple. So mostly not mostly, always horses are placed in this squares, like where I'm indicating my finger. This particular squares, these two particular squares, like here. So how it moves. So let me tell you. So it mostly moves like an L in an L shape, um, like an upside down L shape. So I can move this horse from black square to white square. See, I can make a L, a upside down L. So that's how it actually moves. But you can also consider that it moves above four squares. Like let me tell you, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the four squares. So you can jump over that four squares like this. And if I want to move it again, it can jump over more four squares. For example, 1, 2, 3. So I can move either here or either here, or maybe here, 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 or here, and here. So mostly these spaces are used in chess tournament to forget me, So put the opponent in a very tight position. So I move it again. For example, I'm putting it here. So now its squares are limited now, because now it's in its side, so it can move out of the board. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, one square. So I can jump over that one square like this, black to white, white to black, black to white, and white to black. Simple. And now let me show you the rook. So rook, you can say, is really a piece for the end games. And if you ask me what is the end game, so end game is you can say the ending time. You can say the ending station of the tournament. Like for example, you would be playing chess for like 10 minutes straight, and most of the pieces are gone from the board. They are either eaten up, or like that. So yeah, these rooks are mostly useful in end games. But it's a very powerful piece, and it can be used to make a very useful tactic, which can be used in end games to trap enemies and get a victorious checkmate. So let me show you how it moves. So mostly in startings, rooks are placed in these two squares, like the very edge of the board, the board squares, like here or either here. So how it moves? So either it can move in a horizontally or vertically. It can move sideways. It can move sideways like a bishop, but it can either move horizontally or vertically. As you can see now, if it's in here, so I can move it to this place, and this place, and this place, and this place. So now let me show you now it's time for the queen. Queen, also the most powerful piece in chess. But how? Actually, queen is a combination of bishop and rook. So it can also move sideways, horizontally, and vertically. And mostly in openings, queens are placed just right here. It depends that whom you're playing with or how you're playing with, because rules can be sometimes changed. So yeah, either you can put it here or here. So queen can move sideways, it can move here, it can move there, it can move here, it can move like this horizontally, it can move vertically, like it can go anywhere in the board. So that's why it's the most powerful piece. But let me tell you about the most important piece, the king. Although the king is not that powerful, but it's the most important, because of course king is the only reason we're playing this game for. We need to save the king for being checkmate. So how king moves? So king is like a pawn. Like after we'll push the pawn 2 squares, it can now move only 1 square from with each passing time. So the king is also like that. King can only move 1 square at one time. But the only difference is that it can move anywhere like a queen. Like it can go horizontally, sideways, or vertically. But only one move. So that's it for this session. I hope you like the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Please support our channel and hit that share button also, so you can share this little bit informative video with your friends. So yeah, I would like to say chess is a very interesting game, and uh, I can't really think of any word to describe how I feel right now. But alright, thanks for watching the video. Bye bye.